Who are we talking about?
What's up, True Feelings family? How you guys doing today? If you're new to my channel, my name is Crystal, and I hope you stay. And if you do, welcome to this little family. Now, I left off. We continuing my shitty ass past life stories. This is the third little segment of the shit. The last one, in case you guys missed it, it was a whole bunch of DV going on. The donor's mother, those of you who don't know who the donor is, that is the kid's father. I do not give him a name, and I'm not going to give his shitty ass grandmother a name either. Her name is Devil G, because that's what she is. Okay, so like I said, she came, she saw my face, got pissed. She moved me to the house in front of her house. Like I said before, she lived in the back. The house that was in the front, she used to take care of her brother and her mother. When they died, my best friend and her other grandson, the donor's brother, moved into the house. Long story short, they moved out. Now the house is available for us. She wanted me to move there. Now, I thought that was a good idea, but you know, you really get to know a motherfucker when you get around them all the time. And I already knew that Devil G was kind of an asshole, but I didn't know to what extent of an asshole she could possibly be. So living in front of her house where she can watch me or whatever, try to protect me, that wasn't shit, because she never told my grandmother what happened. I don't remember any. I still don't to this day remember if I told my grandmother, if I hid from her, if I told a lie. Like, you guys, I just don't know. But the only thing I can say, moving into this house in front of her, the DV did cut down a lot. All the getting socked in the head and shitting in the temple, all that shit kind of stopped. But now I'm here on my third baby. By the time I moved out of that place, now I'm pregnant with my third child. Now, with all my pregnancies, y'all, I wasn't no crackhead. I did not smoke meth. I haven't even discovered that yet. Wasn't smoking crack, didn't have no crack babies. I couldn't even smoke cigarettes. Anything smoke going into my mouth, I would throw up, you guys. With all four of my boys, I threw up 9 months straight because I had the seed from the devil fucking inside me. I had that devil seed inside me. That was why I would throw up for 9 months, because I had the devil fucking with my damn uterus.
That is funny.
Now, y'all, I'd be so sad. I would just be sitting there, because my best friend, remember the ones I told you about that we went to middle school and high school together, they live right down the street. I can see them from their porch. They can see me from my porch. You know, they was down there just free, living their best life. So I thought. I didn't really know what was going on there, but when you're sitting on the outside looking in, it looked like everybody having a good old time, except for you, who can't go anywhere or do anything unless you with this donor dick. Okay, so I couldn't do anything. Sometimes my little old friends would pop up and come up to the house with me and kind of kick it for a minute, but when bitch ass was there, they would just go, and there's a reason why. So I didn't get to do a whole lot. I was still in this damn prison. So after I had my fourth baby, because, you know, wasn't much going on living in that house. So after I had my fourth baby, well, let me back up. When I got pregnant again with my fourth baby, I did not want to be pregnant. I did not want to have this child. I had already had 3 C-sections, and it's really, what they say is dangerous to have like a 3rd C-section. And I just didn't like the motherfucker I was with, and but I was trapped and couldn't get out. I just felt like I was stuck. Like, who's gonna want a young mother with 3 kids? Like, who's gonna want me? So you feel like you gotta stay in these positions with these niggas, because they make you feel less than, and ain't nobody gonna want your ass anyway, because you done popped out all they damn little seed. So I say that to say that was my last pop off with him popping me, because I tried to get an abortion. My little friends down the street, we had this already set up, because I did not want to have another baby. Like, I just did not want to have another baby. He found out, and shit didn't work out so well for me. I end up having this 4th child. It was a horrible birth at the end, because my staples came loose and I had to have a pressure pad on my stomach, so they couldn't like restaple them, so it was real dangerous. So at the end of the day, I ended up getting my tubes tied and burned when I had my 4th child. So now let's get to the nitty gritty of the shit, because I really hate talking about the donor. I hate that fucker, okay? So he was still, like I said, he had his work clothes, which was his stealing clothes, stealing people's shit in the neighborhood, okay? One morning, it's maybe 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe 7. It's early in the morning. I know that. I'm up. I'm getting he was 5 years old, my 5-year-old, ready for school. I have my other little 2 kids with me. The baby he was still a baby, so he was in the back house with Devil G, because she would help me watching my kids. I had too many damn kids, y'all, at that age. So here I get this knock. You know how the police knock. Boom, boom, boom. They come in, guns out. I'm scared, don't know what the fuck's happening. The donor done went and hid in the closet. I asked them to please put their guns away so I could put my children in the room, and they abided by that, and they did that because my kids was freaking out. So they let me put my babies in the room, and I gave them the light eye signal. Let his asses in that room, go get him, okay? So they went and took his ass. He all crouched down in the closet and took his little punk ass to jail for stealing people's shit, okay? Now, I never went to one court date. I have 4 children. There's no way I can go to any court date. Didn't do any of that. Long story short, you know how it is when they go to jail. They expect you, the woman, to sit by the phone and don't go anywhere and just sit at the house and wait for their phone calls. Now, y'all, I did that for a couple of months. And then I just stopped the shit. And I started hanging out with my friends down the street. Now, let me tell you something about when people don't tell you shit. I didn't know what was going on down there, but I would have appreciated more if they would have said, okay, this is why I don't want you hanging around down at that damn street. Don't want you down there. That's when I found out about meth. Still hadn't found out about heroin, but I didn't know like the whole thing of meth. Never heard of meth, but that's when I found out about little other shit and thought that shit was just fun and shit. So anyway, it just got to the point where I'm not sitting here waiting for your fucking phone calls. I was so happy he was gone. I would get up, get my son ready for school, because my best friend Paula, her and my sons, they were both the same age. We'd go down there. She'd meet me at my house. I'd meet her at her house, and we would walk our kids to school. Now, of course, I started to change a little bit, because when I was with the donor, I didn't wear makeup, because I used to get best dressed in school and shit. Once I got with him, everything went to my kids. I had nothing. I didn't have like good clothes to I just didn't. I had low welfare money, so my money went to my kids like it should have been. And speaking about, you know what I can't stand on the first when I see these welfare hoes in Walmart. They got their nails done, they got their hair done, and their kids are sitting there looking raggedy. I don't like shit like that with they little piss ass nigga behind them buying wanting shit that he taking from the kids. I know I got off track, but that shit annoys me every time I see that. So anyway, like I said, I started to change a little bit.
I guess she is resurrected.
Like putting on makeup. My girlfriends, Paula and Brenda, they would let me borrow some of their clothes. They would just wear like cute shit. I didn't have shit like that. I had to dress a certain way. So just to be in like little tight dresses, not tight, but you know how they had the form-fitting dresses. I wasn't dressing like a slut or nothing, but I looked like a woman, and I felt like my old self again that I used to be. I wasn't bound and chained by this nigga watching my every move, thinking I'm always gonna do some shit. I wasn't that type of chick, I just wasn't that type of chick. So it just got to the point where this is where I'm hanging out every morning. I got up and stuff. This is where I go hang out. Once I took my kid to school, because my best friend Paula, she still lived with her mama, right? Her mama had a big ass house, so that's where everybody used to gather. I didn't know back then that was the dope fiend gathering. Remember I told you my grandmother told me not to go across that damn bridge? Well, that's why. Once I was the person living across that bridge, now I know why I should have been across that bridge. Everybody across that bridge was fucking dope fiends. Everybody that lived in that neighborhood was dope fiends. Not the crack, dope fiends. Okay?
There's a difference.
So now Devil G is getting pissed, because she see me hanging down there at my girlfriend's Paula all the time. Okay, so she don't like it. Plus, the donor, he keep calling. He can't catch me. I don't give a shit about him anymore. And my mother was like, he gone. You might as well just leave him because he ain't shit. So that's what I did. I did not stay with him. So I end up being down the street most of the time. So this one particular time when shit got real heated, didn't get heated. the Devil G was playing games. She didn't like the shit I was doing, which I wasn't doing anything, you guys. I was just hanging out, being able to be free. I wasn't out there holding, like I wasn't. I'm from this house to this house, hanging out with my friends, smoking weed and shit. That's what I was doing. Wasn't on no weird shit. So one day, me and my friend Paula, we just came back from picking up our little boys from the school, because the school was literally across the street from where we lived at. Literally across the street. My 2-year-old and my 2 young kids, it was so long ago, they was little boys. They was out in the front yard playing. When I popped up, here is this, don't take this offense, y'all. Here's this white lady at the gate talking to me about my kids, asking me questions about my kids, because Devil G done called the people on me for just making up shit, saying that I'm abusing my kids, and none of this shit happened. Now my baby, he was about 3. He had a mark on his forehead. It was lipstick, y'all. It was lipstick. And the lady saw the lipstick. So she's in the house with me, talking to me about my kids and about what's going on. Of course, they can't tell you who's making these damn phone calls. I already knew who did the shit. I don't know people like that. So who else is going to do this shit? Because I knew she was feeling some kind of way, because I stopped fucking with her like that. It's not like I took the kids, but she just didn't like me doing what I wanted to do. She wanted to control my every actions, and I wasn't having that shit no more, right? So I got pissed off after that lady left. I got pissed off because she realized, well, you know what they do. She walked me up to my house. We went up to my house. They want to see what's in your refrigerator. They want to like look at your house to make sure you're not neglecting your kids. My house was always clean. They had clothes. They had food. Everything was there. There was nothing to fucking report, right? It was nothing. Girl, I get heated every time. So I got pissed off. After that white lady left, I went up to Devil G's house, and her other son that was there, the other brother was there. I walked into that house. I snatched her phone. Back then it was phones. I snatched that phone out of the wall and threw it at her ass.
When you cross the line, you deserve a little check too.
So y'all, after that evil ass heifer did that shit, I asked Paula's mom, because like I said, they had a big house, lots of room. Can I move in with you guys? And she let me move in. So you know, after I did that, that really got some tension going and jaws tight. You know, but my kids were safe. They were very safe. They were sharing a room with my girlfriend's, with Paula's son. And the rooms were set up where it was set up right to a door opening to her mother's room. So my kids were safe. Wasn't nothing gonna happen. We was on some bullshit. You know, once the kid went to sleep at night, we was smoking crack, still doing all kind of little dumb shit. So I ain't gonna even say I was this great mother, because great mothers don't do shit like that. They just don't. So I'm not gonna come here and act like, oh, they did that. No, that's not how I roll. There's so many women out here right now thinking just because they take care of their kids, but they still get high and do shit that they're doing the best thing in life because their kids are fed, well taken care of. But there's so many other things I could have been doing with my kids, like taking them to the zoo, taking them to SeaWorld. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to ever make myself come in here front and center. If I'm telling you my story, I'm telling you my story. I'm not ashamed of shit because it shaped who I am today. Do I have some fucking regrets? Oh, hell yeah. Now, a whole lot of what I found out living down there at my friend's house, that was a fucking party central house. Everybody came through that house to do shit. Not everybody. It was her uncles were older. Her mom had her when she was old as fuck, y'all. So, she got an old seed gene in her. So her older brothers was like in their 50s and shit. And here we are in our early 20s. So she was the baby of the house. And so mama spoiled her. Let her do whatever she wanted to do, basically. That's what it was, okay? So now I'm living with them. And like I said, people come over and I end up, it was this white dude that came on there. His name was Fred. My husband's name. His name was Fred. Now, the donor was the only person that I had ever been with in school. I didn't have little boyfriends because I've been in this relationship with this fucker since 9th grade, you know. So I didn't know anything about dating or seeing other people. So this little white boy came over. His name was Fred, little motorcycle and shit. Long story short, this was someone that I got into my second relationship with. And it didn't happen really fast. I didn't flaunt it in front of my kids. I had restrictions on his ass. Like, when my kids are around, don't hold my hand, don't touch me, don't kiss me, don't do anything like that, because they only know one person, and that's the donor. And I just didn't feel comfortable. Like, I just didn't feel comfortable because it was all new, and it was like it was just different. Long story short, I end up getting into a real relationship with this man after maybe 4 or 5 months or something like that. We got into a serious relationship to the point where we end up, because he had a job and everything, but here's the thing, he was a meth dealer, you guys. He was a meth dealer. Okay, so we end up getting an apartment together. I moved out of that neighborhood completely. That's when shit hit the fan. And that really, really pissed her off, because the donor's mother, she could see who's coming in and out. So my little boy one day, my oldest little boy, 5 years old, he said, "Mama, what's a blue-eyed white devil?" I said, "What?" She says, what's a blue-eyed white devil? Where you getting that from? Grandmama said that man's a blue-eyed white devil. I'm sure that's not hard one, but you know, that's the gist of it. Can't remember everything. So that already told me right then and there she was on some shit. Now, I don't know how in the hell. Maybe she probably, well, after seeing me being on the back of his motorcycle and shit, she probably just knew. And that's before I moved out of that neighborhood. So I was just so happy to move out of that neighborhood on the other side of town to get away from that crazy bitch. But shit got real bad after I did that. Not with our relationship. Our relationship was fine. Everything was going fine. I had a nice 2-bedroom apartment, doing the shit that I was supposed to do, but yet still getting high at night. Like, that was my thing. At night I would still get high. So I still say that to say wasn't shit. And I'm not gonna come in here fronting like, just because I got high at night and not in front of my kids, that I was some fucking special person. And my story's not unique. It's just my damn story. That's it. But shit gets worse. It gets worse after that, you guys. So I lived in this place, and I'm gonna end it with this. So I lived in this place for I was there for about I want to say a year. I did not take my oldest son with me when I first moved there. Like, and you would think, when I think about all the shit that Devil G did to me, I still trusted her with my kids, because you never think they will do, I don't know, you guys. I was just young, naive, dumb, and high. Okay? That's what we would call it. So when I first moved to the other side of town, I let my son stay with her, because he was still in school. There was only a couple of more months of school, and I didn't want to take him out of his school, away from his friends, until the summer came, and then we'd get over there and enroll him in the school, and you know, the school out there where I was living, right? So this is around December. I decided I'm going to move. I needed to get a different place, bigger place, and move closer to the school that my son was going to go to. Because the school that was close to where I moved to, it was fucking far away, like, to walk. Like, it really was. So I needed something closer, because I didn't have a car. He had a motorcycle. So I moved, found another place. My grandmother came to pick me up because Devil G offered. She offered to watch my kids while I moved, okay? I let her do it. My grandmother came over, picked me up, dropped the kids off at her fucking house. So, y'all, the next day, I called to check on my children, right? And she's like, oh, they okay. They up in the front house playing with Ray. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say the name. Playing with their uncle up in the front house. Is when I moved out, the uncle moved back up in the front house. So, you know, I didn't think nothing of it, because it didn't seem odd to me. So then I called the second day, and she was like, I know you tired from moving, just let them stay another day. And you know, dumbass people like me, you still want to party, you don't think about shit. And you just go with it, because I didn't think about anything. But I'm telling you guys right now, that second day I called, my kids weren't there. And you guys, what do you mean by that? They weren't there. So the third day I called, said, my grandmother, we coming to pick up the kids. I'm coming to pick up the kids, period. This bitch tells me, the donor, they not here. And I remember this because it was at a phone booth, because I didn't have a telephone. I said, what do you mean my kids ain't here? She says, some white lady came and took your kids. She didn't say it like that. She was kind of somber and shit.
So I'm just trying to stay calm. Just trying to be calm. That's all.
I said, what do you mean somebody took my kids? And she just started crying and said, we came and took your kids. And she couldn't fucking tell me anything, you guys. So I'm sitting here on this phone like in disbelief, having a fucking moment, having a breakdown. Well, where are my kids? What do you mean? Who took my kids? Okay? So then I find out later, I get this number. I've never dealt with court systems and shit like that. I get this number to this white lady who she claims take my kids. I ain't never heard about no damn CPS. I didn't know what the fuck that shit was. Okay? So I called this lady to find out, like, where are my kids? Why did they take my kids? Why they not where they at? This lady tells me they took my kids because of I abandoned my kids. And then the other one was my boyfriend, who I was with, Fred, molested the white one, molested my kids while I watched. And I said, that didn't happen. Like, that's a lie. Her response to me was like, it was yesterday. I'll never forget that. So you calling your kids a liar? No, bitch, I'm telling you, that didn't happen. Anyway, long story short, that's how my kids were taken away. Not because I was strung out on dope, because they didn't like the fact that I was with a white man. They didn't like the fact that he was white. They probably would have did the same thing if he was black. But they definitely wasn't feeling the fact that I done moved on with this white boy. So they done concocted this whole story that really changed my kid's life still today, and changed my life still today. This is shit you just don't get over. I'ma stop right there, because it gets worse. It don't get better. It just gets worse. So now I'm sitting here with this CPS bullshit. And you guys, that week when that happened, there's still a whole year, and that happened in 90. I don't remember it. I don't remember it. Like, I totally just had a complete breakdown. I don't remember what I did, where I was. I didn't have a home. I was on fucking welfare. My kids was the one taking care of me. That's how I can see it when people on welfare. Your kids is fucking taking care of you. Get a job. So now I didn't have welfare. I ain't got no money. They told me they would give me my kids back if I left this man. They didn't. I left him. Before even leaving him, he tried calling. And I always think today, why you didn't go after this white man? If you really thought he molested my kids, why didn't you go after him and take him to jail? They treated me fucking horrible. And I did everything they wanted me to do. But yet they didn't go after this man who they claim molested my kids. Now, of course, on the documents, everything says insufficient evidence. I didn't know what a lot of shit meant back then. And I just wish a lot of shit. But that's when things, for me, changed who I am today, what I am today, how I feel today, my trust issues, my PTA. I got a lot of shit going on. And a lot of shit triggers me. Words, certain things, places, things fucking trigger me. So I don't like people to try me with certain shit, because I'll flip the fuck off, right?
We need to figure this out.
But anyway, I'm going to end it right there, and I'm going to come back with the rest of that shitty ass story. Anyway, you guys, I'll be back with something else randomly. Don't be an asshole, y'all. Bye.
I am not afraid of all the lengths I go. I was already gonna let ties go.